since reality has now caught up to Chrisean Rock and isn't holding back. Let's talk about this difficult, heartbreaking, and genuinely humble chapter that she is currently going through, everything she has been avoiding, and the upheaval she has dismissed is coming full circle. Additionally, she is no longer able to skirt the reality. The attention she once cherished is beginning to weigh heavily on her. This isn't simply drama on social media. Real life is crashing. What's even more amazing is that the change is actually visible. The energy is different, and it doesn't look good. Following Chrisean's announcement of her pregnancy with baby Junior, people have been criticizing her decisions for over a year. The entire internet is watching her now, as if everything is finally catching up with her. This is becoming a sobering reality check rather than merely drama. Her inability to prevent it has evolved from what began as idle conjecture. What's the most telling? Chrisean at last acknowledged that her kid is struggling. No live stream, filter, or motivational caption can take attention away from it at this point. Responsibility is a truth that she is confronting head-on.
Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that, so I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child, to be honest. But I like this shit, bro. You know why? Cause all the glory to God, bro. Like, y'all gonna be looking real stupid.
As if it were infectious, she has been avoiding it. However, she has now finally spoken aloud. Chrisean is finally recognizing what people have been observing for a while. Following the outpouring of worry from fans, family members online, physicians, random followers, and bloggers who essentially begged her to do something, she isn't ignoring it anymore.
This is the face, that's the lower lip, upper lip.
Whoa.
You are 20 weeks.
Junior is falling behind in his growth. And this isn't one of those every baby moves at their own pace scenarios. This is more severe. No. His lack of head lift, his little perceptible eye contact, his lack of reaching for objects, his lack of cooing or smiling, and that cry, it struck in a new way. It sounded as though something was amiss rather than like a newborn fussing. There is now a cause for this. Junior may be dealing with serious health concerns, including fetal alcohol syndrome, visual processing delays, muscle rigidity, and possibly convulsions. According to leaked reports and internet rumors that Chrisean has neither acknowledged nor refuted. It is devastating. What's really upsetting people, though, is that this wasn't an unexpected development. This might have something to do with her behavior during her pregnancy. While she was pregnant, others recalled witnessing her drinking, smoking, fighting, and crying at bars. She stopped since it was too late to terminate the pregnancy, and even acknowledged live that she was unaware she was 5 months along.
Are we all in agreement now that it's a lot of things that this baby is going to be suffering from or hindered doing because of the shit Chrisean was doing while she was pregnant? Drinking, smoking, partying. And to be quite honest with y'all, I think what make it worse and what make everybody more mad at Chrisean is the fact that, one, she still denies it. Not just leave it alone. She denies that she did anything wrong while pregnant. On top of, it doesn't seem like seeking any help for this baby.
We all viewed that video. The doctor informed her directly that she was already 20 weeks along. However, rather than changing her perspective and adopting the role of a mother, she continued to act as if she had no child growing inside of her. Not to mention that we failed to see the warning indications. Her previous lives were filled with incidents that ought to have served as wake-up calls. Drinking excessively, standing erect, and arguing with blue face as if she weren't expecting a kid. Now that the infant is here, it's obvious that he's having trouble reaching the fundamental standards. Despite all of that, Chrisean still had the audacity to argue with people online, which is crazy. Chrisean was yelling at people for only pointing out what they observed. When folks were merely expressing concern, she accused them of being haters and said that we don't know God. People practically begged her to become a mother, and no one was disparaging her. However, she chose to ignore it all, and the guilt now. She is obviously being caught up by it. She's reportedly been having a lot of difficulties behind the scenes. In an attempt to get back in touch with God, she has begun attending church services, believing that prayer could mend the damage caused by neglect. It's important to remember that seeking God's help is always a good idea, especially when you're in pain. But prayer without doing anything, that is only performance. It is not growth. Talking to God is fine. But what good is it if you're not actually working for it? Faith without responsibility doesn't make a difference. She's even working to mend damaged relationships in an effort to provide her son with a stronger support network, so she must be feeling a lot of guilt. According to reports, she has contacted Jaden, Alexis, Clarissa, and Blueface's mother. That's right, the same Jaden she used to make fun of online at that point. You realize it's serious. Chrisean Rock, dear miss, I apologize for what I said is out here. In public, she even invited Clarissa to meet her grandson, saying she would put aside her feelings if it meant her son could live a secure, affectionate, and sibling-filled life. That's it. That is a change. However, she continues to get the side-eye from people. Since she avoided accountability for nearly the whole first year of the baby's life, let's face it, she dismissed all worries, claimed that others were projecting their trauma, and steadfastly refused to accept that anything was amiss, even when medical professionals apparently presented warning signs. She abruptly grabbed Junior off social media when the commotion became too loud. Because of pressure, not because of privacy, she was attempting to avoid the accountability train. Not to protect her child, because she wouldn't have live-streamed her childbirth if she truly cared about privacy. If she had been dancing and having fun, she wouldn't have uploaded innumerable videos of her son lying there still. It always seemed to be more about her reputation than his health, and people are observing that nothing has changed now that they are seeing him once more, hidden in the background of her church-related Instagram stories. Everything about him appears the same: his gaze, his stance, and his lack of reaction. Even though he is almost 2, he is not doing the things that many babies his age are already doing. And this is sincere care, not hate speech or insults, the kind that originates from those who have been following this development from the beginning. Furthermore, having a child with special needs is not a reason for shame or punishment. Millions of parents are lovingly and devotedly parenting children with delays or impairments. What really hurts in this instance, though, is that many think Chrisean's decisions may have played a role in this result. Not only does her child have difficulties, but those difficulties may have been avoidable. This infant must now battle twice as hard to survive in the world that he didn't choose to enter. What's the worst? Chrisean has yet to accept her role completely. She is apologizing to people and pleading with God for forgiveness, but she will not explain why. She hasn't acknowledged in public that her actions throughout her pregnancy may have contributed to Junior's illness. Perhaps she won't. Perhaps the truth is too burdensome. Perhaps she realizes that there is no going back once she says it aloud in actuality. However, the public is already aware. Her supporters, admirers, and even detractors have been following along in real time. Therefore, it feels like gaslighting when she acts like this is some new discovery. Not to mention that she is the same mom who allegedly skipped one of her son's surgeries in order to go out and party. People began to emotionally drop out at that point. She skipped an entire surgery to get intoxicated and get noticed. At that point, individuals remarked, "You know what, we're finished. You can't behave like the victim after making decisions like those." And here we are now. She is attempting to mend everything, reestablish relationships, restore faith, and reconcile with God, and truthfully, that is advantageous. There's no harm in being late. However, let's not pretend that this negates the events that occurred. The live videos, the contemptuous demeanor, and the months of negligence won't simply be forgotten. Furthermore, they will continue to hold her responsible because of the kid. Bible verses and apologies are insufficient for him. He has been lacking since the beginning and needs therapy, regular medical attention, affection, structure, and true stability. The question now is whether she will actually change. Is this merely another PR cleanup or a real turning point? Is this merely a lull before she resumes her partying? Or is she finally going to become a mother? We'll find out in time. We do know, however, that Lil Jr. did not request any of this. And regardless of the obstacles he encounters, he deserves every opportunity to live a happy life. He is not guilty. And it's time for the grown-ups in his life to stop behaving like kids and start acting morally. Because the world continues to observe, and now, no one is turning away.